Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Patience. In today's video I am going to be sharing with you guys how I made this beautiful turtleneck crop top with keyhole neckline. Before we get started, kindly click the subscribe button. If you have done that, let's get into it. I will be using this stretchy fabric for this tutorial, and it is 1.5 yards of fabric. So to make this crop top, you need a stretchy fabric because this top is not going to have a zipper. So I'll also be drafting on this pattern paper. I've gone ahead to mark my shoulder line. Right on the shoulder line, I'll mark half of my shoulder width, which is 8 inches. So I'll not be adding sewing allowances to this dress because I'm working with a stretchy fabric. So for the width of the neck, I'm making a turtleneck, so I'll mark 2.5 inches for the width. On the shoulder measurement, I'll come down by 1 inch and make a slant to the 2.5 inches this way. From this 1 inch, I'll mark my chest line, which is also the armhole line. That is 8 inches. In order to get a straight line, I'll mark 9 inches from the shoulder line. After doing that, I'll bring down this shoulder measurement to the chest line and connect the points this way. I'm drafting the front piece. I'll also be using this pattern to cut out the back piece. So for the back neck depth, I'll be using 1 inch because it's a turtleneck crop top. And for the front, I'll be using 2.5 inches. I'll curve the neckline this way. After doing that, I'll mark the full length of this crop top, which is the shoulder to the waist, that is 17 inches. You can decide to make it 16, and I'll leave the remaining 2 inches for hemming allowance. So this is the 2 inches, I'll leave it for hemming allowance. For my circumference measurement, on the chest line, I'll mark quarter of my bust circumference, that is 10.5 inches, and I'll mark quarter of my waist circumference, that is 9 inches. Remember, we are not adding side seam because the fabric we are using is stretchy. So if you are not using a stretchy fabric, then you need to add a zipper. Now I'll mark the midpoint of this line. For the front armhole, I'll go in by 3/4 inch, and for the back armhole, I'll go in by 1/2 inch. I'll connect each point to the tip of the shoulder this way, and I'll use my curved ruler to curve the front and the back arm side. And I'll add 1/2 inch on the shoulder line for sewing allowance. You don't need to do that. And I'll cut it out. So I'm cutting out the back neckline and the back armhole because I'll be using it to cut out the back piece. This is just a dartless basic bodice. So I'll be cutting it out on my fabric, cutting out the neckline and the back armhole. I've done that. So this is the back piece. I'll keep it aside, and I'll cut out the front neckline and the front armhole. Make sure to mark the midpoint of the armhole. I'll be using it to cut out the keyhole neckline. I'll be making 2 neck depths for this crop top. I've cut out the first one, that is the 2.5 inches. As you can see, I'm placing my measuring tape there. I'll mark the other neck depth, that's 6 inches. Now from the midpoint of the armhole, I will go up by 1 inch and connect this 6 inches neck depth to the 1 inch. So using a free hand, I'll make a curve downwards this way, as you can see. So this is for the second neck depth. Now to create the keyhole, from the first neck depth, I'll go down by 2 inches, or you can go down by 2.5 inches if you don't want it too open this way. And from the midpoint of the armhole, I'll go down by 1.5 inches, and I'll connect these 2 inches to the 1.5 inches, and I'm making a curve using my free hand upwards, as you can see. And I am using another color of marker for this so you can understand. So the blue marker is representing like the yoke part of this crop top, and the black marker is for, let me say, the bodies. Now there's no way you can cut out the bodies without affecting the yoke, and there's no way you can cut out the yoke without affecting the bodies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using another pattern paper this way and a tracing wheel. So I'll place the pattern paper behind this way and align and pin it down. So I'll trace out the yoke as you can see. Trace out the neck, the shoulder, down to where the yoke is going to stop, and I'll trace it out with my marker this way, and I'll cut it out. So this is the yoke. Now I can cut out the bodies. Remember, it is the black marker, so I'm going to cut it out this way. And after cutting it out, there's no need to add a sewing allowance to this dress at all, because I'll be cutting out like a bias tape to finish up the edges, that's the necklines. Now make sure you mark out this line also on the other part. On the fabric, you will notch it because that is where you're going to overlap, like the yoke is overlapping the borders, so you're going to mark it out to be able to overlap it. So I've gone ahead to cut it out on my fabric, and I've also notched and marked that line on the fabric, as you can see. So the yoke is going to overlap the bodies this way. Like I said, I will use a bias tape to finish up the neckline. I've gone ahead to cut it out. I cut the bias tape using the same fabric, and I cut out 1.5 inches and folded both sides and fold it again just like a bias tape. So I'll be using this to finish up the necklines. So if you don't want to make a turtleneck, you can go ahead and finish up the neckline and also this curved parts of the top and also the back piece. To finish up the neckline, I'll turn the fabric to the wrong side this way, starting from 1 inch on the bias tape. I will pin it down. So I'm pinning down one side of the folded edges. After doing that, I'll turn it to the right side and fold it this way and make a top stitch. I will also do the same thing on the curved part, starting from 1 inch, as you can see. And if you want to finish up the neckline, you can go ahead and do that if you're not making a turtleneck. So I made a mistake. I started sewing from the right side of the fabric, but I later turned it back to the wrong side. And after doing that, I trimmed. So you want to trim out the first edge so that when you are making a top stitch, it is going to reduce the tension. So as you can see, I've turned it back to the wrong side. Now I am going to make a top stitch. This is how it came out. Using the pattern, I am going to align the armhole this way to know where I am going to cut out. As you can see, I have also notched where it would overlap. I'll do the same thing on this part of the yoke, and if you're not making a turtleneck, you do the same thing on the back neckline and the front neckline. So I have done that, and this is how it came out. So this is how it is going to look like on the wrong side of the fabric. Now I'll be joining the yoke and the bodice, and I'll overlap it this way and align it, making sure it is on the marked line. I'll pin it down. I'll be joining it by 1/4 inch, following the shape of the arm side. After doing that, I'll be joining the front and the back piece together. So I'll place the right sides this way, pin it down, also pin down the shoulder. After doing that, I will sew on the side seam by 1/2 inch, also the shoulder by 1/2 inch. I've gone ahead to cut out the sleeve. I have a detailed video on how to draft a basic sleeve. I'll put the link on the description box below. This is 25 inches. So I'll be making the sleeve 23 inches. I'll be using 2 inches to hem the sleeve. So I cut out the sleeve without the side seam. But I'll be joining the side seam by 1/2 inch and hem the sleeve and attach it to the dress. As you can see, I've attached the sleeve and I've also hemmed. After doing that, I'll measure round the neck. I've gone ahead to cut this out for the neckline. On fold, it is 2 inches. I'll be using 1/2 inch to join it to the neck, and this is the round neck measurement. I'm adding 1/2 inch for side seam. Now I'll place the right side this way and sew on 1/4 inch. After joining the 1/4 inch, I'll fold it back to the shape and I'll be attaching it to the neckline. I'll make sure the stitched part is on the midpoint of the back piece. I'll pin it down. And sew around by 1/2 inch. So you can go ahead and fold in the 2 inches for hemming allowance if you want a crop top. But I'll be attaching this band. This is 2.5 inches. I'll be using 1/2 inch to attach it. So the width is the same measurement on the hem, which is 17.5 inches, and the band is also 17.5 inches. I'll place it on the right side of the top this way, and I'll sew round by 1/2 inch. I've done that. I've attached the band on the neckline and also on the hem. So we have come to the end of this tutorial, guys. If this was helpful, kindly give this video a thumbs up and also click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell to be updated when I upload a new video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.